It's a third exercise left, third one, fourth one. Anyway, the next one. So we will do the lecture a little bit more, okay, to balance the schedule of the lecture. Okay, so last time we have talked about the several solutions of the synchronization problem. So there are three requirements to make the better quality of the synchronization problem. First one is the mutual exclusion. Definitely, we want one process to be able to access the critical section. Before that, by the way, to solve the race condition, we define the process structure as the critical section and remainder section. Also, before we enter the critical section, operating system need to do something, that is an entry section, and after complete the critical section, it will be exit section. So, how to define, how to code, how to make the algorithm for entry and exit section are the problem of the synchronization issue. The operating system will take care. There are several algorithms we have seen. The last class, algorithm 1 use the turn, okay. Algorithm 2 use the flag. Then we can see there was who enter the critical section, who is not, okay. So by combining both of them, we have seen the Pearson solution. Pearson solution works very well. However, it's only for the two process cases. If we consider the number of cases, actually it cannot satisfy the three conditions, that is the mutual exclusion and progress. Progress means only process in the entry section will determine the next one. No other processor will affect. Okay, that makes sense. Otherwise, if we select the processor who are not in the entry section, like the remainder section, the process cannot cannot enter the critical section. Then that should be bounded weight, infinite the weight, not infinitely weighting. So that is algorithm 1, algorithm 2, Pearson solution are example of the software solution. Software solution usually have a problem of BC weighting, because in the coding you need to keep checking that one. To address that problem, why don't we utilize an instruction? Some of the chip, the processor provide the instruction, so we can use such an instruction. For example, test and set, swap, we can use this instruction to implement the critical section problem solution. So last time we have seen the example of the solution using the swap, so we can see. However, at this time, because it's the same idea as the software solution, so it's not perfect in terms of bounded weighting and the progress. To address that problem, so we are going to, this is the solution that we have seen the last one. The main part of this one is we try to decide the next one while the current process is exiting the critical section. So next one is the J plus 1. So at maximum, it will check the one cycle of the process at maximum. Then next one, if that is in the waiting, the array, which means this processor would like to enter the critical section, which means process in front of the just before processes in the entry section. Sometimes I feel confused with the bathroom example. So in other words, the student are in front of the bathroom. We don't care that the other student, those who not want to enter the bathroom. So checking until find the true. Okay, so false means the not waiting means it will be false in case of the true. Okay, then it will be that one. If there is no process want to enter the critical section, which means no process in the entry section, or check all of this and no, then just release the lock as the false. Then anyone, any processor who enter the critical section, then check the lock, then can enter. Because of this one, can enter the critical section. So this one is good, definitely the mutual exclusion, and also progress and bounded weighting. It's up to maximum just one time, one cycle. Okay. So these are the hardware solution. The operating system solution is in between the hardware solution instruction and the algorithm. However, this one will be provided by the system core level, the system library. For example, we can, I think the last time we talked about briefly about this one, semaphore. Semaphore is the operating system data structure that has the list of integer and two methods. One is a signal is a plus, and the weight is a minus. We are not going to directly use the semaphore. Instead, specialize the semaphore. Why don't we limit the integer variable either 0 or 1, two value only. Okay, two value only, then we can still use the weight and signal. There are different names, but it's the same idea. Plus means 1. Minus means 0. Okay? 1 looks like the log, and minus means unlock, release the log. So that is called the mutex log. Because of this one, actually mutex log are used a lot in operating system to lock the memory, to lock the variable. And whether or not you realize, in the system programming code, they use a lot, so such a mutex log. Because of this, if operating system cannot handle mutex log, the old operating system, the pop-up, there is a mutex log error in the memory, something like that. We will see when it will be happen. So basically, the count is a 0 or 1. Binary semaphore is called the mutex log. There are two operations. Okay. Also, so weight and signal. Weight is the 0 and the signal is the plus. Okay. There are two operations that they use the different name, block and the wake up, but that is the same operation as the signal and weight. Okay, it's the same idea. So how can we use that one? So this is the implementation of the weight, but this is the implementation of the signal. Plus this is a minus. Okay. Then how can you use? So we can. This S and Q are the semaphore, mutex. Okay. So we can wait and get the lock, and the signal is a release lock register. So it should be paired. Wait and signal should be paired. Once you get the lock of semaphore and mutex, then should be release the signal. However, sometimes in the application program or the system programming, sometimes it's forgot to release the lock. Okay, because of that, it will cause the mutex lock problem. So this is the one of the example of the using mutex lock, but that one caused the deadlock. We will discuss the deadlock problem later. Deadlock problem is a huge problem in operating system. So we will separate to discuss about the deadlock in chapter 7. I think the chapter 7. Okay. So simply deadlock means he is holding the paper. I'm holding my paper. Then I'm requesting his paper. At the same time, he is asking my paper. Who will be winner? Fighting? Rock, paper, scissors? So keep waiting. So somebody need to do something. Okay? That is called the deadlock. So deadlock is usually frequently happen in operating system. By the way, nowadays, what will be the simple solution? And most popular solution of the deadlock. Here, one of the student, one of the process. No, in operating system, ignore. Actually, because of that, you control C a lot. Interrupt. Why? Operating system does not care whether or not deadlock or not. Why? Because deadlock detection is a very, very expensive operation algorithm. Okay. How many users? So many resources. How many processes? So many processes. If you take all of the problem like if I take care of all students as if I'm doing job in elementary school, it will be crazy. Even my job is too overloaded, right? So whether or not you guys are fighting in your project, it's okay. I don't care. Then you guys need to take care. It's the same problem, same thing in the operating system. Operating system actually ignore such a deadlock, and user application should take care of their own deadlock problem. However, still deadlock is an issue in operating system. Okay. There are different types of using that solution, the synchronization solution. There are several classical problem. So one is a bounded buffer problem based on the producer and consumer problem, because producer and consumer use the shared data buffer. Okay. Then at the time, how can we solve the problem? That frequently happen in many operating system, including application program. And the readers and writers problem is whenever a process write the data to the shell. There are two types of operation basically to the file from the process. One is read the data. Another one is write the data. It's the same thing in any the database application, as long as not database, a computer application. As long as you are using the computer system and the file, it's a read or write. Okay, the read is okay as many processes as possible. You can allow to read the data. Problem is a writing. How many writers? Only one writing. Okay, so depending on the level of the log, so there are different solutions. So readers and writers problem is a very popular problem. Binding philosopher problem is a little bit complicated, but idea is when we have the n number of research and n number of process, not only the one research per process, sometimes the process need multiple the research, right? So I need the file, I need something memory. So at that time, how can we share? How can we solve the synchronization problem? That is the binding philosopher problem. So we will see the one by one in the next class. Okay? So this will be discussed in the next class. Bounded buffer and let's say bounded buffer only. Then to the other we will see in the next class. So bounded buffer. So bounded buffer means we have the producer and we have consumer. We have the shared buffer. So to access the shared buffer, this is defined as a critical section. So to enter the critical section, each process, then how can we define the entry and the exit section using? So we are going to first. This is the initial information. We have the n buffer and size of the buffer, and we have the sum. We are going to use the mutex. Okay, operating system solution, mutex log. The mutex initialized as the 1. Okay, and semaphore full. Why we need the semaphore? How many producers are using, or the data size, buffer size? How many data are in the buffer, and whether this is how many the empty. So that is managed by the semaphore full, semaphore empty. So this is the producer. The producer, this is a critical section, okay? When they access the buffer, before access the buffer, okay? The critical section, we are going to get the log of the empty, log of the mutex. Okay? This is the log of to access the critical section. And this is the log of to change the status of the buffer. Because it's a producer, it will write the data. So once you complete the writing the data to the buffer and release the log using the operation in semaphore. So signal, which means it's a release the log, so somebody can access this one. And signal and full, the signal full means the semaphore to whether this is the full one. So this is consumer. Consumer read the data. Okay. So check whether this is the full or not. Then get the mutex log to access the critical section and release the once it's done, release the mutex log. The problem is if you forgot this code, it's not syntax error. Okay. So it's still compiled and running. But this will not be released. The mutex log, no other process can access this one. That's called the mutex log problem. And so you should keep the pair of signal and wait and signal in your program. When you are doing in your application program, are you going to directly use this one? Most of the time, no. Why? Because operating system will automatically take care whenever you access such a read and write the data. However, sometimes you need to use the directly synchronization solution in your application program. For example, I'm developing database management system. At that time, instead of using operating system solution, you can implement directly, explicitly define explicit use of such a synchronization solution. This is a proper problem. Next one is a readers-writers problem, more general case to read and write the data. And tiny philosopher problem we will see in the next class. Okay, then why don't you bring your laptop. Be ready, like this one. Today, we are going to learn Unix shell programming. What is a shell first? While you are preparing, while you are ready for the exercise lab, what is the shell? Shell is the most outside of the program layer in operating system to communicate with the user. So it's an interface between operating system and the user. Okay? So what did you learn in the last class? Command. So most of the shell, the program provide the command. So we have learned how to list the file, ls command, how to list the process, ps command, and so on. So we have learned a few number of the commands that are provided by our shell. What is our shell? It's a bash shell, the B-A-S-H, bash shell. So first, if you want to know what shell program I'm using, so at that time we can use echo command. Echo command is the return, display the environment variable. What is an environment variable? Any computer system, any operating system has a lot of parameter value. Even the Windows has the parameter value, the user environment parameter value, system environment parameter value. Most popular one is path. Path, and it has C and Windows, something like that. Also, class path is a library path. The Java uses a lot this class path. This is a environment variable. So you can access it. I'd like to know that this is an environment variable. First command you can use is env environment and type. You can see all environment variable used in your shell program. Okay, in your shell. It's the same thing when you are using PowerShell on Windows. The Windows provide the same command, the env. If it's too long, you can actually use more using the pipe. Okay? Then you can see, for example, I don't know what is OB, socket dir, SSH, agent PID, and the terminal is the X terminal, and shell. You can see the shell is this shell is using bin. Under bin there is a bash, the executable file command, that is a bash shell. Bash shell is based on the general shell. We will see the different types of shell, but it's based on the shell, but mostly cover the command. The command of the Cone shell, KSH, C shell, and SH. So it's very popular in Linux environment. But whenever you want, you can change it to this shell. We will see later. And some other the information. Okay. User is the OS, and this is the, I do not know. So for example, the language is English, and some log name is OS, home is OS, something like that. Then, however, if you want to just see the specific variable that you know, you can use the command echo. Echo will be used every time whenever printout display the variable. So for example, shell. $shell. Dollar means the return the value of the variable. Then enter. Then it currently I'm using in the BASH. First, why don't you check which the shell you are using? Echo dollar shell. There are many different shell programming. As you can see in the project, the lab description, C shell. It's a very basic the shell programming, and Bourne shell is a BSH. Bourne shell is a BSH or the just SH. It's also the very common shell programming. Many of the Unix system use Cone shell, K shell. Okay, and also most of the Linux shell use the BASH, bash shell, as a default. But depending on your preference, you can change it anytime. So today we are going to use the bash shell. Okay. However, some of the command instruction in this description are based on the C shell or the just shell. So I will show you what is it, what is not. And also, today we are going to test the shell programming. Shell programming means you know what is the script language? Script language, interpreter language. So what about the other program language? So when you code the C program or C++ or Java, you need to compile all together. Then you have object file, then finally executable file. Instead, script language will be compiled command line by command line, command by command, which is called interpreter. It's also the program language. What is the program language? It's just the high-level language to communicate with your hardware, compile the assembly language. Okay, but different types. It's actually same, but different type. It's an interpreter, line by line compile. When I type, for example, echo, it's a interpret. This shell program interpret the echo command is compile compile this line and execute it. This is the interpreter. Then by combining several commands in the file, you can execute all together at one time. That is a shell programming, like the JavaScript. JavaScript, you don't have to compile like the other Java program. It's a script language. It's the same thing. Here you can use it. So it is the another type of programming. So those or shell, C shell, it's not only just command by command, it's also programming. You can do very powerful program language. Some of the shell programming is specialized for the specific purpose, like for example, AWK can be used to deal with the data, two-dimensional array data. Manual is this much deep. So 3% developed this one. Perl. Perl is also shell script language. Such script language. Actually, Perl was developed for what? Admin purpose. I forgot the name of the guy who developed this one. This guy was the Unix administrator. But as a Unix administrator, a lot of shell script you need to use some command. So for convenience, he developed a Perl script language. Nowadays, it's used for even web, the application. Okay? Then, what else? Python. Python is also script language. Nowadays, Python used for data analytics a lot. So I think that this semester, our department offered the Python program. Okay, Python is another example of the shell. So this is the one of very basic shell script language. But if you are able to use the C shell, Korn shell, Bash shell, it doesn't matter. It's slightly different. So same idea. So we will see how to use such a thing. First thing. So any script language, this is a file that we are going to the code. It's a source file, kind of source file, script file. Start with is the number and exclamation. The mark is called the shebang. Shebang. I think the shebang. Why? I don't know. So I tried to find why it's called the shebang or shebang or shebang. There are many different ways. So this is from hash. So hash. She. So it's a bang. Okay? And surprise. I don't know whether that's the exact answer, but anyway, it's called the shebang, whatever that is. Start with this one. That means the rest of the code will be used for this, the shell. You can specify the shell. What if you are using Perl script? Perl script code starts with the PER. Then this one is a Perl code. Okay? So if you are using the AWK, C shell, Bone shell, B shell, and K shell, just the shell, you can specify the shell command, full path. Over here, there's a space. So shebang, space, and script, the name. Actually, it's an executable path. So this is the always on your first line. Okay, then this one, the hash code or the number sign means it's a comment. This line is just a comment. Okay. In case of comment, you can use this code, and also the others are generic way. Okay. So it has a wildcard like the asterisk for the file name. Okay. And also you can use the bracket and also redirection. We learned that this is a redirection. Also, we can use the redirection. Two redirection is append, and two is a standard error. Standard error will be saved, and so on. So it is the generic way of. Then all of these are reserved symbol. So in your variable, you cannot use them. And next page. So also, in case you are going to specify, you are going to learn the several commands in the same line, you can use ls semicolon, ps semicolon, and it will be executed separately, but the sequentially will be executed. Okay. So these are the basic things. So first, why don't you open the file using VI or editor? The file name is, it's totally up to you. In my case, I will use the T1, test1.sh. Extension is not the meaningful. Without extension, you can execute it, but for convenient to recognize which file which is the .sh, usually we use .h. In case of Perl, we use the PL. In case of other, So in case of shell script, we use usually sh. The T, it doesn't matter. The file name, so you can open the file name. So like I'm going to use a VI, but in your case, if you are familiar with the gedit, you can use the gedit. VI, the t1.sh. Okay. Then always start with the shebang. So which means I insert the hash symbol and exclamation and bin BASH. Okay, enter. The first command that I'm going to execute is the echo. Okay, echo what? $shell. Okay, and echo what? Just how are you? Okay. Then the semicolon, then the WQ, enter. Okay. Then you can check whether file is created. Here, it's created. Why don't you do until this one? You can use the, I will give the time to code. You can use the gedit if you want, but I cannot control the mouse, so I cannot use the gedit. So you can put the echo command. You can display the whatever you want. Okay, then save it. Then we will see how to execute this file. To execute the file, we need to, this is a prompter, this is a prompter, then you can just type the t1.sh, okay? Whatever the name is, t1.sh, that's it. So if I type t1.sh, there's an error, command not found. Why is the error? Yes?
So there's two things you did instead of permissions, and t1.sh is not in the path.
It's still in the past, actually. Then problem is,
It's not executable.
yes. As you can see, RW, nothing. R, nothing, nothing, R, nothing, nothing. This file is only readable. And even owner me can write the data file, I cannot execute it. So which means we need to give the execute permission to the file. So how can we give chmod plus x to this file? So chmod plus x, okay, plus x t1.sh, then check the permission again. As you can see, it's a change in the green color. Green color means it's executable. Okay? If you don't want to give the execute permission to other, you can change it. 744, like that. Okay? But in my case, I gave the execute permission all of the even others. Okay? Then, how can we execute? Just type t1.sh. Oopsie.
You need to specify its location, so you
Dot.
need /.
Good.
That's not the path.
So t1.sh, which means the current. Okay. So let's see the path. The path. This path will be used for to look up this command. There is no current directory here. Okay. Current directory is the dot. Okay. So if you don't want to use this is a current and execute the t1.sh. You need to add current into the variable, path variable. Otherwise, you need to type /t1.sh. So /t1.sh, enter. It return the variable of the pass and the shell and return how are you echo. Okay? So why don't you try to do this one? Also, another important thing when you are doing the shell programming is whenever you can do in your command line, it can be programmed. Okay? You can just copy and paste to the file, then it will be executed. So shell programming, so when you implement the shell script first, why don't you type on your command line? If that works, then you can make the script file. Next thing is the variable. Variable is the first thing that you need to know whenever you learn the new program language. So in shell programming, depending on the language, depending on the shell, depending whether C shell, Corn shell, B shell, Bone shell, the bash shell, it's different. Okay, slightly different. So for example, first I'm going to test the variable in the command mode. So for example, if I type my name is Lee, okay? My name 1. My 1 is Lee because I already said this one. Then echo like this. You don't have to use the set command. Okay? In bash shell. Bash shell, if you set this is the old one. Set my 10. So you cannot see it because that's different from your description. This description is based on the general shell, not bash shell. Okay? So bash shell doesn't use the set command. Instead, it uses just the variable plus variable equal. You can assign variable assign. Okay? However, be careful. You can, for example, my 1 equal Lee. What happened? Space will be saved. Like this one. In this case, it's arrival. Okay? You need to remove the space. If you want to keep the space, you can use double quotation. Like the Lee and echo $my 1. So why don't you test different ways? Okay? And you need to use if you want to keep the space, you need to use the double quotation. Also, in bash shell, it doesn't care. In the description, to represent the integer variable, you can use the ampersand. Not ampersand, it's S sign, right? S sign, but bash shell does not care. So, which means you can type my number 1 equal 10. Okay? Then it's a 10. Okay? And also my number 2 is a 20 equal my number 2. Then, however, if you add, so for example, my sum is equal my num 1 plus my num 2 equal it should return 10 plus 20. Why? It recognizes this one, 10, 20 is a character string. Okay? How can we use this variable 10, 20 as the number? At the time we can use this command, $, okay, $, the parentheses, 2 times of the parentheses, then we can put the minus 1 plus minus 2 like this. Then, which means this one will be calculated, automatically change it into the integer variable. So if I type this one and echo my sum, it will show 30. Okay, dollar, the two parentheses. There's another command, it's evaluation. You can use this one for calculation. Arithmetic operation you can use. Times, yes it works. And the minus, yes it works. So also you can use the evaluation command that evaluate the value of the variable. So I think that we have the example later. Okay. And also the shell programming support the array, like the, for example, colors. Colors, red, blue, and then echo I don't think this one is working. Yes, here it's not working. Instead, the bash shell need to use bash shell use the dollar, the middle bracket, okay, middle bracket with the variable, so color. We define colors red, blue, green. So 0, 1, 2. So to print out, display the colors first one. So you can use the colors 0 with the dollar sign and this small bracket. Okay. So this is the slightly different from the general shell. Okay. Okay, and also there are two types of variable in shell programming. One is a local variable, another one is a global variable. Local variable will be used for only the script. Global variable will be used for any children, the descendant process. So you can use export. For example, all these variables are local variables. Okay. However, if you wanna make the local variable to global, you can type export. For example, my sum. Okay, my sum. Then this my sum can be used for any children processes of the current process. Okay, so just as simple. That is a global variable. So let's test it. Why don't you open this one again? Okay, then let's define number 1 or A1 as the 100. Okay. A2 is 200, okay? Then the echo $1, $A1 and $A2. Here plus $A2, then echo A1 plus A2. And right? Okay? So we assign the 100 to the A1, 200 to the A2, then A1 plus A2, 100 plus 200 is, why don't we? Oops, I don't think it's written. Oh yes, why don't we? Then, so A1 plus A2, 100 plus 200 should supposed to be 300. So after save and dot T1 SH, so you can see 100 plus 200 equal 300. Okay. I'm going to show the file. Okay. You can do the line by line. If you don't want to save the file, you can type line by line on your command line. It's exactly the same thing. Okay? If you guys want. Shell script support many of the many of the operation in the expression. It's kind of a statement in terms of the language. Okay. In 4.5, for example, the equality equal not equal and minus EQ and minus NE. This is the same as equal, this is the same as the not equal. And logical and or minus A. And the or minus O. Not is the discrimination. And logical to and or these are separated. Okay, so we will see example this operator in the expression later. Okay, and also greater than GT and great equal or greater GE and less than less equal and other arithmetic plus minus multiply and division. Okay. And the modular, yes, it works. All these, the basic operation are separated. So you can test it with such operation in this. Instead of the plus, you can test it. Also, this shell script get the argument, parameter value. Okay? So how can we use? So it's a $1. $1 is the first argument. Okay? Then $2 is the next, and so on. Third, $3. So when you learn this one, 100, 200, 300, 1, 2, 3. Then it will be displayed like this. So you can get the input, argument, value. So 1, 2, 3. It's not 0, 1, 2, 3. It's a $1, $2, $3. Okay, $1 means it's the first argument. $2 means second argument. Actually, $0 is what? Command itself. Okay, so $1, $2, $3. So you can use the argument. Then also you can read the data from user input. So that is a read. Okay, for example, why don't we use the same file? Read input first the value, then read X is the first one, echo second value, read Y, echo sum is what? It's an echo dollar X plus Y like that is. Okay? So we can get the input, read X. Second input, read Y. Then calculate and display. So why don't we learn this one first? So first the input value 100. Second input value 200. Then sum is the 300. So we can use the read command to read the data from the user input. Okay. Next page is a conditional. Conditional statement is very straightforward. So it's basically if, then, else, and if. So fi. End of the if is fi. So you can give the statement here, statement here. It's a conditional. Okay. You can use also inside the if. So you can use if, then fi here. Okay. Also you can use the else if you want. ELIF. Else if, okay, then statement and fi. So that is the else if. Case. Case is the case 0, case 1, case 2. You can give the pattern of the specific variable as the color. Color is in case of red, do something. So case, as you can see over here, so you can practice. The next page, the loops. Shell script support also for loop, while loop, do while. Okay, it's the exactly same. The command as you learned in any program language. So I don't have to explain. So also, as we have seen before, it supports the array. Okay, array is the you can use the word 1, 2, 3, then display 1, 2, 3. Okay. One more interesting command is the back quote, back single quote, not the single quotation mark, back single quote means any inside between this single quote will be executed separately. For example, day. So if I echo today is single quote day and period. So like this one. So this command inside the backward will be executed separately. That will be part appended to the original command. Okay. First execute this one and append. It can be used for inside your shell script. Okay. So why don't you practice in the shell programming practice 1, concatenation of two strings. Okay? If you are not familiar with the bash shell that I introduced, you can still use the shell. Shell is supported here. Let me check. I didn't check. Yeah, shell is here. You can type as it is in the description. Okay. First one is the shell. Right now, I'm explaining about the shell programming practice 1, concatenation of two strings. Okay. So your file is the shebang, the bin sh. So we are going to use the shell, just a normal shell, and echo enter the first string and read data, and second string and read the data and display the concatenated the string. Okay. So I will show you how you can do that there. So for example, so I'd like to create the T2 .sh file, okay? Shebang and bin sh, echo, enter the first string, and read the string 1, echo, enter the second string, and read the string 2 and echo. The result is $string 1 and $string 2. Okay? Then after you save it WQ, you can run. Before that, change mode and P2sh. So hello world, and it's a hello world. Okay. So this is the first program that you can test. Why don't you try? If you are not familiar with the add VI, you can use the still gedit, and don't forget to change the permission to give the execution. The prompt also. Okay. Then you can find many sample shell script from internet, and also manual is available in man page, man BASH. So you can see all this description from the manual. Okay, what is this? What kind of options are available? What kind of the command and argument, and how it can be used, reserved word and pipeline and everything is available here. Expression and follow for select the case, while the everything is actually in the main page. Okay. Then homework. Why don't you practice the practice 2? Okay, by typing and type execute. And 3, type and execute. And 4, type and execute, then you don't have to submit it. Instead, there is one more homework. Create shell or bash shell file. Either way is fine. Okay. Input is a let's see, 3 arguments. 1, 2, 3 arguments. Okay. It's a 3 arguments. Okay. So, for example, three arguments. Then, first one is a number. And this one is also a number, integer. And middle one is plus, minus, multiplication, or division. Either of them. Okay? So, in your program, you need to check, first check how many arguments you have. So if not 3, return error and exit. Okay? First, you can use the if and variable, argument variable. Okay? Check how many. If not 3, and return. And second part of your program, using case. Okay? Using case of this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Using case of the second variable. Okay? Then perform. In case of plus, $1 plus $2 and display. Minus, same thing. It's very simple. Okay, it's a very basic calculator. Plus, minus, and asterisk, multiply, and division. So why don't you? 2 parts. One is checking argument. You probably did the same thing in your Java programming or C++ program when you execute. First, check the how many arguments. If not match, an error and return. And if yes, then using the case statement, plus, minus, multiplication, and division, and return. Very simple. Okay. So you can, after you practice, first through the practice. Why don't you make this one? Then you can just copy and paste. Okay? Which one is better? The file is better? The file is better. So name is your ID, UBID .sh file. Why don't you submit to the canvas? Okay? Then you can execute the file. Any question for this one?
When is that due? When is that due?
Monday? Yeah. Monday? Any question? Probably you should have a lot of questions, but this is one of the languages. So we cover the one language within an hour, so it doesn't make sense, which means you need to spend your time to practice and gain use. You don't have to try purchase the entire book and memorize the whole document. No, don't do such a stupid thing. Okay? Just practice with the homework and the practice for the exercise. Then, if you do not know how to execute, find it. Okay? If you do not know how to assign the variable, try to find it. You can get the most of the answer from StackOverflow.com or the Wikipedia and internet. And also manual page, man page. Okay? Any question? Okay, good luck for your homework and we will see you on Monday. Why don't you